Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us in TGIF. I apologize, I'm going to go ahead and relaunch that poll. I had to take it down pretty quickly, so let me see if I can put that up here. There we go. So just take a look at that. We love to get a feel for our partners, kind of where you're coming from, the length of your tenure with them, and then also, length of your tenure with Fortinet, but also a fun little trivia question. So I'm going to leave that up while I'm talking for a moment. All right, everybody, thank you so much and for joining us for another episode of TGIF, aka Thank Goodness It's Fortinet. We host a new topic every week on all things Fortinet every Friday. So today we're covering FortiSIEM 102. If you missed FortiSIEM 101 last week, just let me know in the chat field there. I would be more than happy to send you a link to the recording and also the training slides that were used for that previous episode. Great information. And today David's going to dive in a little bit deeper into FortiSIEM. Quick introduction for myself. My name is Dana Mead. I work out of the Sales HQ office in North America here at Exclusive Networks in Miami. Now, we'd love to keep this webinar as interactive as possible, so please ask all the questions. I have in the background with me Christian Postier. He's our Fortinet channel engineer. Great guy, lots of experience, full of knowledge. So ask away in the chat, and he'll be helping me to field some of those questions as we go through today's webinar. So thank you so much for taking part in the poll. Hopefully that was a little bit long enough. I'm going to go ahead and post the results. And let's see what kind of audience we're looking at today. So we got a lot of people, fairly new to Fortinet. Some have been here a little bit longer, which is cool. Good sprinkling of authorized silver, platinum, no gold today. So that's interesting. A lot of you from email invitation, a couple colleague referrals that we've got in our audience today, and trivia. So which is the highest waterfall in the world? Again, I know you guys are Googling the answers, but that's okay, I get it. So most of you are correct. Yes, Angel Falls is the tallest waterfall in the world with a height of 3,212 feet. And that's located out of, I think it's pronounced Bolivia state in Venezuela. So that's some cool information. Let me take that down. All right, beautiful. So just FYI, I'm gonna have a exit poll at the end of today's webinar. We'd love to get your feedback on the presentation, the content, how it's delivered. Do we need it more technical, less technical? We really wanna give you guys the content that you're looking for. And so we would definitely love to have your opinion. So spare just one moment after today's webinar to give us your feedback. We'd be most thankful for that. So a quick bit into who Exclusive Networks is. What are we? Well, we're actually Fortinet's #1 global distributor. We have over 62 offices worldwide and also a global deals desk that helps handle even the most complicated international deals and logistics. They're amazing. They basically streamline the process, make it super easy for all involved. And so it's a great value that we can bring to the table. We're also headquartered out of Paris as well. Now we focus entirely on cyber and cloud security solutions. We are very proud of our responsiveness. We have rapid turnaround on quotes, technical advice, configuration, and sales support. So it's always there when you need it. Plus we have a boutique style value add distributor model. So with us, you don't get 1-800 numbers and email aliases. You have direct contact to all the resources that we make available to you. Now next up, a little bit more information. Next slide, David, please. Let's take a minute. Okay, thank you so much. So a few little things about what we offer. We combine specialist value add technical and marketing support, but we also have the volume and reach of a global distributor. Ooh, picture is getting a little pixelated there. Okay. So we also offer extensive pre-sales support to build qualified leads and help you close deals, plus Fortinet NSE certification and training. So we offer group or one-on-one trainings in person or online. Plus we have a range of financing and leasing services to help cover every IT project and requirement and technology. Plus we have a solid and growing list of vendor partners, and these are all chosen specifically because they can all integrate perfectly within Fortinet's security fabric. All right. So allow me to introduce our presenter today, David Yang. He is our Senior Director of Support and Services. David is an OG with Exclusive Networks. He's got over 8 years with the company that was also formerly known as FineTech. And before joining Exclusive Networks, David's held various positions such as app developer, software QA, information technology, and systems engineer. So David, there's your cue. I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, everybody, to join us. And good morning, good afternoon. I'm hoping that you all enjoy so far for all the TGIF that we have presented for this series of topics. Today, we're going to dive into FortiSIEM 102. Last week, we have a quick or brief introduction of the FortiSIEM. Hopefully, you guys all understand or at least have a glimpse of what FortiSIEM can offer you. And as Dana mentioned, if you have any question regarding last week's, feel free to contact us. She will send you the information. Or if you want to have any further discussion, feel free to talk to us directly. Again, just quickly introduce to you our support and services. As you can see from the slides, I actually just want to mention one thing is I just got a couple of orders this week. The customer or reseller like you want us to check what OS has been loaded on the FortiGate or any Fortinet devices, and you want us to load or preload specific OS before we ship to you or ship to the customers. So we also offer that kind of service as a value add. Just want to make sure you feel comfortable working with us for any of the Fortinet product and technologies. As you can see from the slides, we offer quite a few different things. We offer pre and post sale support. We have different services available, especially like Jumpstart or staging services. If you want to find out more detail, feel free to contact us. So before we dive into the FortiSIEM, again, I want to bring out the Fortinet security fabric again. This is a very important architecture from Fortinet and actually specific for the security world. More and more lately I've heard different vendors, different technology vendors, they offer similar type of things, try to offer end-to-end broad and also integrated solutions to customer. Either they through their own homegrown, let's say, development, or they have a partnership. A lot of them actually is based on the partnership. However, Fortinet security fabric is not just cover all aspects of the security segments, but also have a partnership, validate their solution to work with Fortinet as a security fabric. As you can see from the picture, that specific red dotted the management analysis and analytics side, because that's what a FortiSIEM is really about. Of course, there's a FortiAnalyzer and there's a FortiSIEM. Or FortiAnalyzer mainly we talked about a couple of weeks ago is mainly for logging and reporting, but FortiSIEM really gives us a more in-depth understanding of what's going on with the network environment. So today's agenda, more continuous session of the last week's FortiSIEM introduction. I want to focus a little bit more on the discovery, analytics, and report dashboards. These three things I think is a very high level. FortiSIEM is a complex as a big product itself, a technology itself has a lot of patented technology development into it. To really get very deep into it, that's take probably whole weeks of time to get training, right? Fortinet and also Exclusive offer certified training you can sign up with. So today I only want to give you guys a very high level view of what FortiSIEM can do for you as more in the management point of view, right? So discovery is very important. So each of the discovery, analytics, and report dashboards, I will also provide a demo right after each of the sessions. Again, this is open discussion. I want to make it as interactive as possible. So feel free for any questions. Well, Christian's on the side, and he will definitely help us to address any question you have. So again, continue with last week's. We talked briefly about discovery. For discovery on the FortiSIEM, basically there are two types of discovery. One is log discovery, the other one's GUI discovery. Log discovery basically is taking FortiSIEM is basically taking all the logs, whereas a system log, whereas SMP, wherever the log or events that's sent over collected by the FortiSIEM will generate a discovery. Then second way you can do discovery is based on GUI. So you can, later on we show you in the demo that you can, from the FortiSIEM GUI management desktop, you can see how to do a manual discovery from different devices on your network. So basically it's more like a pulling the information from all the devices, collecting those information, including the CPU, the memory, the network interface, disk, or even certain files, and also any application that coming from that devices. Could be a network device, could be a Cisco router, could be any other firewall, could be Windows Server, Linux machines, or any databases. So there's all sorts of information FortiSIEM can pull out from. So this is how the FortiSIEM log collection look like. So you have FortiSIEM sitting in the center in the core, and basically FortiSIEM receive. That's what the pulling the information from all those logs, that getting those information from different devices, and also FortiSIEM will also try to get those information from different devices using the GUI collection of the data. And once it's collect all those data, store in the database, and then will generate different report, and based on the event or rules, then you can generate different alerts. So like most of people, probably all of us know that syslog, you need to have those port open, UDP, and TCP set it up, and you can have SNMP trap set it up, and you can even use the NetFlow or SFlow to provide information, provide those data into FortiSIEM. So from the GUI discover, right? So on the GUI side, later on we're going to show you that you can configure the discovery from the FortiSIEM, right? And then you need to provide necessary credential and also certain protocols such as SMP to pull the information from each of the devices. Then from the SMP credential, or it could be SSH or any other tools that you want use FortiSIEM to pull the information from, then you need to provide those port number, you need to provide credential, logging, access. You also need to provide certain IPS range you want to pull those information from. Then you can pull information from different kind of devices, different kind of range, or you can even pull information from your AWS or Azure. So this is how the discovery operation, this kind of basic screen. So you can see that on the left-hand side, when you try to do the GUI discovery, you can use SMP or SSH, right? And then enter those credentials, and then you can do a discovery that way. Just show you the process, how it works, is you create the authentication or credential page, then you specify the range, then you start doing the discovery. The discovery flow, you can see that's collecting. First of all, you do the discovery, then you're collecting all those information. Once you're collecting information, then you can go in there to manage each of the traffic to enrich the information that you receive. You could add certain information more to the devices, or you can make sure those information that display properly onto your report, or even onto your dashboard, or for the analytics informations. Also, you can use if any time you have any problem collecting those information, you can use the TCP dump. You can use Telnet or Secure Shell or something called SMP walk. It's a tool that you can troubleshoot why you didn't collect those information. Most likely, very possible is because the credentials didn't provide it properly. So this is how the discovery overall, collecting information and store into the CMDB. Last week we talked about CMDB is a configuration management database. That's where all those information is stored at, right? So discovery, collect those information, normalize those information, basically make those information more useful, then populate those information into different databases for storing and also for searching and analysis. This is also a process flow. So you can see that from discovery and collecting information from different devices. On the top is like Windows Server, could be Windows Workstation, Windows 7, 10, whatever that is. And then could take example as Cisco SA, you can be any other devices, network devices that you can collect those information from. And then once you collect those information, you populate them, normalize them, and then popularize them into CMDB. Then from CMDB, you can perform different search, different looking at different monitoring, such as a performance monitoring based on the CPU, memory, all those kind of things. They can use very useful for your informations. So I'm going to do a quick demo on the discovery side for the FortiSIEM. Can everybody see this? Right. So this is the FortiSIEM. So this is the admin section, a tab, you should say. So basically, a couple of things I want to address is, right, so you want to put in some user profile. You enter your name, your email address. This email address basically, if there's any event, there's an alert you want to send to you, will send to this user. Of course, you set up your passwords, such as such, right? Then this one, you can see there's a more like alert or warning sign here, exclamation mark. And you can see that there's different tasks running currently or at this moment. And you can look at all the tasks in the more historical view and understand what's going on with this FortiSIEM. Last week we talked about there's a FortiSIEM worker, just a collector, the supervisor. So the screen we're seeing right now is basically a supervisor, right? Supervisor has all the overview of what's going on. The collector is basically to offload supervisor to collect all different informations. Workers basically try to offload the supervisor's workload, basically to maybe do some larger search, more historical search, those kind of things. So I just want to give you a quick understanding how the admin look like. And there's a question mark here, basically would take you to a more content related help screen, right? So over here, you can see that as a setting the credential. So basically for discovery, that's where I'm at right now, right? So over here, you can see that I already have a couple of credentials set up. You can see that one of them is 100D using SSH to access the FortiGate I have on my network to getting information, right? Second one I have set up as SMP, right? And third one I've set up as Windows 7. You can set up as many as you like. No, you just need to create those information here. You can see that from device type, there's all kinds of devices available. Not just Fortinet, there's all, whatever the network device out there, it's a whole bunch in there, and Microsoft is in there too. So you can select Microsoft Windows 7, Windows 8, NT 2000, whatever that is. You fill in those information, and you fill in the username, fill in the password. That's the credential. What this credential is about, right? Discovery usually depends on your network. It could take a little bit longer time. And so what you need to do is make sure you run that discovery first and understand what's in your network, right? So I've done that already because we want to save time. So you can see that I tried to run that for one of the network is 192.168.1.0/24. The other one is the 1.1, which is the FortiGate I have here, right? So once it's done, then I can click on discovery, and then it depends on which one I want to run, right? So the credential you have done, or you have created, so you can create a new discovery you want to do, say whatever that is. So let me show you this. Boom. Let me show you this one then. Okay, so you can see that I create a discovery then for a range of all the subnetwork of 1.0, right? And I just use that to run the discovery. So all I need to do is just click on discover. I'm not going to run it right now because it takes a while, but this is how you can get those information from, right? And then once you've done that, you can see that I have runs all those discovery already, right? A couple of them I run actually today, and just want to give you guys more understanding what's going on. So you can create different range. You can see that I create different range for different subnet in my network, right? In my network. And then once the discovery are done, right? So you can click on monitor performance, right? So you can see that you're collecting all those devices information and give you a quick overview of what's going on with all those devices right now. That's all in the discovery side, all in the discovery side, right? So once the discover has been done, you can click on different devices, right? They show you what devices that's supported by this discovery, and you can look at the health of those devices, right? So, not devices, the health of this network, I should say. The supervisor is my own machine. We'll look at the health of the supervisor. And I also can look at general setting. Right. So yeah, so general setting, basically how I set up this supervisor, right? And then I can look at, this is my license. You have to have the license in order to run this FortiSIEM. So now, once all the discovery is done, then we're going to use the CMDB, right? CMDB is all the data being populated, collected and populated, normalized and populated into the database. And then we can click on CMDB to look at all those device informations, right? And you can see that there's quite a few devices already discovered when we see on the admin side of discovery. Then on the CMDB side, we can see all the device and what's going on with each one of them, right? So if you click on any specific devices, you can see there's all different information here. So let me enlarge the screen so you can see that, right? So you can look at the summary, right? For instance, this is FortiGate, right? So you can see the FortiGate information here, and you can look at monitor the FortiGate, right, to see what's going on, like a firewall session, the disk space. We can look at interfaces, different interfaces on this FortiGate, and we look at the hardware. There's a storage, there's a components, right? And we can look at the configurations, all those informations related to this specific FortiGate devices, right? And then let me look at this guy. So this is my Linux machines, right? So look at the summary, look at the monitor, right? Interfaces, software, and there's software running, there's hardware. So system BIOS, let me see if you can pull that information. There's no BIOS information you can pull it from. So all this can be done from here. And then you can also click on like network devices. How many are network devices, right? And how many are servers? So I found out 2 servers here. So basically just give you guys a quick understanding how do you do discover, very easy. Well, basically is credentials the most important part. Once you collect those information, we'll populate into CMDB. That's the first shot you can see from the discovery and CMDB.
Hey,
So
David.
yes.
Hey, quick request before you go into the demo. The
Go ahead.
screen, it's pixelated and the text is small. Do you have a way of enlarging your screen for the audience, maybe?
Good question. I don't particularly know. It's very
Okay.
small.
Well, it's just pixelated. So if we made it a little bit bigger, it might be
It's
easier to
blurry,
see.
right? It's
A little bit
blurry.
blurry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I'm not
not,
sure at this moment. Sorry about that. But
no worries.
let's do this. No, if you guys need to see it again, if you want to get more into it, maybe after we finish this, we have, because we recorded every episode, so we can make it available for you, so you guys can review. You can fast forward if you want to. Those right now, yeah, I need to address that issue later, but right now, let me just go on.
No problem. Everyone, I'll be sending out a link
Sorry
to the
about that.
recording. So hopefully it'll be a little bit clearer when you go back and watch it. So not a problem,
Yeah.
David. Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
No
Sorry
worries.
about that, guys. Okay. So after the discovery, after all the information populated into the CMDB, now we come down to what do you want to do with those information, right? So we definitely want to say, let's check out analysis, right? So analytics is one of the major function for FortiSIEM. So analytics, like, the name, you understand, basically look at all those data from server, from device, even from different applications. Could be a SQL, could be email, could be anything, right? You look at those information and try to get some sense out of it, and then you can do different kind of a search from analytics base. So basically analytics part of the feature, part of the FortiSIEM, to allow you to do different type of search. You can do real-time search, you can do historical search, you can put a filter, you can search by the event, you can search by even search the whole raw messages. The raw message sometimes is very important because most of them sometimes maybe not apparently appear in the events, and you want to look for certain keywords. Now, so that's very important. Once you use the search to pull out a result, and then you can do different things with the result. You can set a result through email to you, to somebody, or you can export the result, save it. You can even have the result populate as a rule set. This is a little bit deeper on that part, but hopefully we'll talk about next time if you guys are really interested. But the result could be very useful and could be your baseline in the future, right? And then so all those results, whatever result you did a search with, you can feed them into report or dashboards. So this is a small matrix that I want to show you guys. So basically you can see that there's a raw event log. So the raw event log, basically all the information data collected and normalized by the FortiSIEM and stored on the CMDB. It's a raw image, raw space, raw message that you can still view it. It's just stored in there. May not be immediately available, but you can do a search on it, right? And then based on different attributes, right? So such as we use a Cisco example. So you have basically the vendor is a Cisco. Then you have IP protocol, which is UDP. You have a destination IP address, or you could have a source IP address, and you can have destination port or source port. Those information as attribute, based on the attribute that you normalize the information, and you can store differently into different events, right? And once you normalize those information, that you can, based on event type, right? You can because the attribute that you selected, you can store those in different event and then populate it. And then based on the event classification and also the event type group, you can use those information for your further analysis. That's very, very useful, and that's all done by the FortiSIEM itself, right? You have raw message, and you have more normalized, more parsed information that you can use for analysis purposes. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a search, right? So there's two-time search. You can do real-time search. Basically just, you type in the search information, what keyword you want looking for, or look at all the raw message, or look at from the event. And you can have a historical search, basically all those information, like I mentioned last week, there could be in the database, right? The real time, they're all in the memory, but then the database, the hard disk will be all the historical information. Those historical information could be your local disk, but could be your remote disk like NFS, right? Network file server. Those, you store those information for much bigger disk drive or disk space that you can store all those information to, right? And then you can use different search, pulling out those historical information, compare with your baseline. And you can, like any query, you can enter different filter. You can enter conditions such as Boolean parameters that you can use. You can do equal to, you can do not equal to, you can do based on whatever information you want to search from. And then again, like I mentioned, result, you can do email, you can export, you can put into the dashboard or reports if you want to. There's something called structured search, right? So you can create different type of condition, right? Based on the attribute that we saw earlier, then you can use that structured search to do more useful information search for you. And you can pull out from raw message again, or you can use different, use for different event logs. The filter I mentioned here, you can use Boolean, different conditions. You can do a daisy chain of the different multiple conditions to do a better, more granular search. So I'm going to do a quick demo on the analytics side. So we already see this admin part, right? And then the CMDB. So we're gonna click on analytics right now. So we can see the analytics here, right? So I can do a run right now. So good, yeah. So what I did is it's a raw message for last 10 minutes, right? So you can do different time difference, right? So so basically you can also choose different way of working on it. So something like that, you want to do different type of display, right? You also can, like this one, I have a raw event log. You can see this is raw event log right over here. I say, oh, this is pretty complicated, pretty long, not easy to understand. So I can say, well, I want to do some details sharing. So so I can pick which one I want to display. So since, for instance, I want to see the event ID, I want to see event name. Let me see, what else do I want to see? Event severity. Let's just pick the 3, right? So I'm going to close, I'm okay it, and I'm going to run again. You will see that analytic actually view actually give you the information that we just selected, right? So you can see that this is reporting IPs from the FortiGate. The event ID is this. There's event name. There's the severities, right? Right, so there you can see that also this events regarding the process usage, right? The CPU usage. No, so based on the raw event log, you can see, you can pick what information you're looking for, right? You can, this is actually very useful to understand what's going on with all the events that in your network, right? And then you can chart the event for different ways, right? And then let me see. So you can do, let's say, do a heat map. Right? So you can do all those different way to show you that to show you the event. So you can see that based on the time here, right? You can select different time and then give you that specific times event, right? So this is, again, this is how you want to look at your network in the time span and see what's going on, like that, right? So then afterwards, you have all those information. You can email the result. You can export the result. You can, like I mentioned, you copy it to a new tab or save the result or create a rule based on the event that you have seen, right? So you can see that there's two different raw already created here. They run two different times. And then you can see that from here, you can display, depends on the rule that you, or attributes that you set it up here. Then based on the information, you can see that's receiving time, right? So you can build that information based on this. It's a very, very powerful, and it takes some understanding and takes some time to learn this. And again, like I mentioned, Fortinet and us, we all offer certified FortiSIEM training, and this is very useful. FortiSIEM has a very particular way and their own patent, so you can monitor both system event and also the performance events from the analytics side. So let me just continue. We kind of run out of time. So after we have discovered and we have analytical information, now we want to generate reports, right? And then later on we see from the manager point of view, look at the dashboard, and there are about over 2,800 pre-built reports built by Fortinet in the FortiSIEM, and they group by 40 categories. It's pre-built, so you definitely can customize certain things. So what you can do is you can clone those reports and customize the name to your own reports and put into your own category if you want to, right? And then you can, like I mentioned earlier, with all along, you can save all those search from analytics to make it as a report you want to see in the future. Now, besides report, there's a dashboard. We can show you that. Those dashboards basically is a single pane of view that give you overall understanding what's going on with the network, pretty much in real time, right? So for analytics, you can do real time. You can also do historical search. But from dashboards, basically give you a short time span, or most likely real time or near real time information on your network. So dashboard give you a visualized presentation of what's going on. And from the dashboard, there's 4 different types. There's a summary, and then you can have a widget. You can look at a business service, and you can also identify where the location at, right? You can customize dashboard based on the widget as you like. Let's see. Yeah, there's just different way you can use the dashboard, and then it's not really one particular way of doing it. So I'm going to just give you a quick understanding how dashboard works. So let me bring this up again, and this one is the dashboard, right? So although the tabs arranged this way, but you definitely go to the admin first to do the discovery. Then you discovery the information populate into the CMDB, then look at analytics. And once you have understanding of what's going on, you want to build your dashboard accordingly, right? So right now you can see that dashboard, there's different widgets, right? And you can build your own widget if you want to. So for instance, you can just click on this and say, hey, I want to build my own widgets. So I want to see the network. I want to do a rule switch, right? And then you can just click on the greater than sign or arrow sign. Then you can see the router switch inventory. Actually, I don't have one. So let me just close this. Let me build something more meaningful. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. AP relationship. Let's see if we can find something here. Yeah, so I do have one AP here. What you can do is you can edit the setting you want to create. You're going to make the width larger, right? Let's say 4 as a table view, or you want to change to different view. You can height keep the same, result limit 10. That's good. Refresh interval 5 minutes, good. Okay, so you can see that. This is one of the AP that are connected to the FortiGates is here. Right. So anyway, so this is all the widget that you can see. You can build upon your own. This is, you can see that this is all the FortiGate or the firewall events by count. That's a reporting device. So all those devices that I did a discovery that was found, discovered throughout my network. Right. So based on this, and that's my events. Right. So I can look at all devices. So let me see if I can do all locations. Let's do all. So this devices that I can see from a dashboard. They're currently live, I believe, right? So they're all live. That's why they collect information from. And I can also look at the instance to see if there's any instance at this moment. There's no security instance, no performance instance. There's a sudden increase. So there's a sudden increase. So in firewall, right? So this is something information I can definitely use. So there's a count only 1, so probably okay. If I see multiple, definitely I want to address that, look into more deeper to see what's going on. Then there's audit, right? So this is all the audits I have here. So based on the information you collected, this is real, close to real time, not exactly real time, but close to real time information I can collect. So I can see that from here, there's receive events I collected so far in the past few minutes, right? So this is the dashboard. You can see that from the FortiSIEM point of view. I can look at my network, do some discovery search to see what device I can find in my network. Maybe there's some rogue device I wasn't aware of, but the discovery still find it and take it to the information. And then from CMDB, we populated, we can check all those information. And then from analytics, we can do search, understand what's going on with each event, and dashboard give you an overview, high-level overview of what's going on overall. Give you a single pane of glass understanding your network. Again, no, I'm not trying to tell you this is FortiSIEM. No, this is not enough, right? Definitely not enough. There's a lot more deeper than we talk about so far, but I want to give you guys a quick understanding what FortiSIEM is about and how useful it can be. If you guys feel interested and you want to talk more, absolutely, please give us feedback. We're designing the next series of TGIF. Your feedback is very, very important to us. And I understand there are a few of you as repeating attendance or audience for us. I highly appreciate you guys. And then your feedback, again, is very, very important to me. So with this pretty much conclude my presentation or talk about the FortiSIEM. And this is a very useful resource. You can see from this, maybe you see many times already, but I just want to provide to you. There's quite a few very important things we should address. First one is the FortiSIEM, the PDF, give you an understanding of the basic data sheets, right? Last week we talked about there's hardware, there's a virtual machines, different appliances that you can use with a FortiSIEM. The one I'm running is on Hyper-V. Just want to let you know. And you can definitely go to the partner portal to look for FortiSIEM's information, maybe a competitive analysis. And you can go to support to check out the FortiSIEM. Oh, by the way, the FortiSIEM, the software is not really in the support.fortinet.com, but there's a link that can redirect you to where you can download the FortiSIEM software from. Again, this is one of the Christian's favorites, video.fortinet.com, which it contains lots of resource. And there's a doc.fortinet.com, which I very much like because that's all the detailed information of each of the product. And a lot of information you've seen so far from TGIF actually coming from there. And FortiGuard's one of the things that you can often check to see what's going on. Again, appreciate your time to share with me with the space. I hope we can continue doing this together. And then in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. And I have the information. This is the information you can see from here. And then all the contact. Again, thank you very much and talk to you soon.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I've got the exit poll that I mentioned at the beginning of today's webinar. So if you don't mind, take just a moment to give us your feedback on today's presentation. If you can see it, we'll work on getting the quality of the picture addressed for the next series of episodes that we roll out for you. We definitely appreciate you taking the time and spending it with us. We hope you have a wonderful Friday, a great 4th of July next week as well. I've sent all my information. I've put my information up in the chat as well as David. So please feel comfortable to reach out to us and give us your feedback. It's very important to us. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll leave this open for just a couple minutes as everyone files out. We appreciate your time. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time.